Hey, Pastor Josh here. We're reading Genesis chapter 18, verses 1 through 4, and the Lord is going to appear to Abraham yet again. Abraham was one of those saints, was one of those followers after God who had unique, powerful encounters with the Lord, and yet we see another one today. In this encounter actually will lead us all the way up until the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. So this is kind of one chunk, one story altogether, and we'll be here in this story for quite a while. And the Lord appeared to him. So the Lord's appearing, and notice it's all capitals, L-O-R-D. Whenever you see that, you know that is the divine name behind that word. That's the translators letting you know that it is Yahweh, it is Jehovah, the Hebrew word. I am who I am. That's who we're talking about. That's God's name. If you see Lord just regular, L-O-R-D, the O, the R, and the D is lowercase, then you know that is just talking about a master. But if it's all caps, you know that's the divine name. And so we have I am who I am appearing to Abraham by the oaks of Mamre as he sat at the door of his tent in the heat of the day. Notice it is while he's going about his normal business. The Lord appeared to him. So there is not a single time of the day, there's not a single time of your life that the Lord cannot appear to you. In fact, sometimes he comes upon us in the most mundane of times, in the most mundane of settings. Are we, though, wise enough to hear? Are we wise enough to see? Are we wise enough to hear the impressings of the Lord upon our heart? I pray that you would and that we would be. So Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, again, it's just this extended language of the Lord coming to him. He lifted up his eyes, he looked, and behold, 3 men were standing in front of him. Now, what we will find here, as the story goes on, we will see that one of these men is Yahweh himself. The other 2 are angels, accompanying angels to the Lord that will ultimately be sent to Sodom and Gomorrah. They will be sent to rescue Lot. And when he saw them, Abraham saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them and bowed himself to the Lord. What a good example for us to follow. He is seeing the Lord, and what does he do? He just moseys over there. He just takes a leisurely stroll. No, he's actually running from the tent door to meet them. He knows who these people are. He knows it is the Lord that has come to meet him. Remember, he's not yet had a child by Sarah. Isaac has not yet been born. This great promised child has not come yet. The promised child that was promised back in Genesis 12 has not come yet. This great promise to multiply his descendants can't be fulfilled yet. And yet he has seen the Lord, perhaps even wondering, okay, maybe the Lord is going to answer it, and he runs to him, bowed himself to the Lord. He said, "O Lord, if I have found favor in your sight, do not pass by your servant." So you see the hurriedness, the desire to be with God, but then you also see the humbleness. Oh, don't pass by your servant. If I found favor in your sight, if you think well of me at all, please don't pass me by. Please let your glory stay here. Let your goodness be here just a moment. So he asks him to come in a humble way. Don't pass by your servant. He's even calling himself a servant. And what he's going to do too is that he's going to even show himself to be a servant as he worships the Lord through these mundane tasks. Look at what he does. Let a little water be brought and wash your feet and rest yourselves under the tree. So he is asking them to stay so that he could minister to them, so he could care for them. He's saying, rest yourselves here under the tree while I bring a morsel of bread that you may refresh yourselves, and after that you may pass on, since you have come to your servant. So they said, do as you said. He is offering to serve the Lord and minister to the Lord. And how should we be doing that now? We should be doing that through our praises. We should be doing that through our songs that we sing in our heart, the melodies that we sing in our hearts, the prayers that we lift up to Him of thankfulness, the time that we spend in His Word, the time that we spend serving Him and serving others. Remember, Jesus even says, He says, if you give a cup of water to the least of these, you have given it to who? To me, to Jesus. So anytime you're serving anybody, anytime you're kind to anybody, anytime you meet a need of somebody else, guess who you are serving? You are serving the Lord. You're walking in the footsteps of Abraham, who ran from the tent of the door to meet Him. He comes to serve this great Lord that has come to meet him there in the tent. Pray that has been a blessing to you. I'll see you all in the next video.